We're just here in the Sillustani Museum. It's got some very interesting artifacts here. Most importantly, it has 3 very interesting elongated skulls. What era they come from is unknown, but it could have been the Koya, which would be around 1100 AD onwards, or it could have been even before that, which is quite likely because the Tiwanakan and the Pucara cultures were here going back BC, sometime BC, we're not sure exactly when. So they were probably responsible for the builders of this incredible megalithic site with these round towers, or chulpas as they're called.
And this is actually described as Tiwanaku 400 to 1100 AD, and also the Koya from 100 to 1450 AD, and the Inca 40. So in other words, to be honest, I don't actually know what they are. They're just putting everything there from the last couple of thousand years, and hoping that one of those describes what they found there. But it could easily be that some of these artifacts are much older and that they're Neolithic, or that they go back to the Paleolithic period.
Just behind me here, there's some examples of some lithic stonework from Sillustani. There are examples of quite large statues, even one that is touching its navel, which was found in the fields nearby. Most importantly, the terraces, which was some kind of fertility totem. It looks very much like a tiki statue, as we saw. And here are some other examples of stonework that were found at Sillustani. They could be from even 8,000 years old. This is how old the site goes back. Whether there was any stone constructions here then is unknown, but it does give a clue that this was a very sacred place for a very, very long time, used by the Pucara culture, the Tiwanakans, the Koya, the Incans, and so on and so forth, until the Spanish arrived in the 1500s. So these are just some examples of the small bits of stonework that was left by various of these cultures.
So this was found in terracing somewhere at Sillustani, okay, and this is a some kind of standing statue with obviously an arm coming down like here, reaching the area of the navel, and the other arm going around the back. Head's obviously missing. This was presumably standing somewhere, and I would say this has great similarities to the so-called Urfa man, which was a life-size statue in stone found in the city of Shanlurfa at the beginning of the 1990s, if I remember rightly. And it too has an arm reaching around for the navel, but the other second arm comes round as well. And it also has this sort of plug-like base here without the legs, exactly the same. Although that does have a proper head, and the eyes are made of obsidian. Now that dates to around 9000 BC. What this dates to is obviously a complete mystery, but I mean, I don't think we should ever discount the fact that this could be several thousands or many more thousands of years old, basically. And look at the type of stone. It's very different to these other darker basalt ones. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is. It's probably a type of limestone, but it's a limestone with a load of pieces of other rock inside it. So this is obviously quite different to that rock, and it may not even be indigenous, who knows. But I mean, it's very fascinating, and I mean, just the fact that it's so warm gives it an extreme age, an incredibly extreme age. And in the context of these other stones with the 3D lizards on them, possibly pumas and other type of creatures, all of these obviously reflect the ideas that are present at Gobekli Tepe between 9,500 and 8,000 BC.
One there as well. It's got llamas on it, this one.
It's just so weird, isn't it? I mean, just how old are these things?
There's something there as well, actually.
I mean, what the hell is that?
It looks like some kind of totem.
Somebody else has tried to move it as well.
Oh, that's like a Easter Island Noah.
It is like a little statue. Let's see if we can have a look at it without. It has the impression of being a statue. There's no question about that. The wide base being the body, sorry, the sort of the hips and legs area. Obviously the upper part here being the body, possibly the arms coming around here, you know, or this is the body and that is the head, and it's wearing some kind of headdress. And that's the first impression of that. That's quite fascinating as well. It's a pity we can't actually make a hole and put it upright now.
We could.
With the permission of the owners.
Well, Brian already talked to him.
Yeah.
I wonder where the head is.
It's not here. They dug it up and found it with the head missing.
Yeah.
All I can say is that that's so cool, because that is so similar to, you know, to artifacts found at Gobekli Tepe.
Yeah, it's pretty fine pottery. When we go to Pumapunku, not the site itself, but the restaurant next door. This guy was digging the foundation for a building, and he stumbled across a Royal Tiwanaku graveyard on his property. But it doesn't look like it was a burial, as in somebody was dug, you know, the dirt was dug out and somebody was buried in. It's like a mud wave just suddenly went boom and just shattered everything, all the ceramics, all the bones.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. It's it's probably part of a bowl, but whoever made it was good. Oh, excellent. Inca. That's Inca.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. Cool. You can make a necklace out of it.
Oh,
Oh, you found the
look. All right. Oh, it's gold.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the best ceramics had gold flecks in them.
So we're just outside the Museum of Sillustani, and you can see these vans behind me, this beetle car. But this is where many of the very important stones that were found within the Chulpas and at the Sillustani site are now left kind of to rot, really. We uprooted one of them. We bought the sort of what looks like a tiki statue with the hand covering over the belly, and other one going behind him. That's now we've actually pulled it out of the ground thanks to Kurt, who's put it upright. And you can clearly see, as with Katimbo and on some of the Chulpas still at Sillustani, that you do actually still find these relief carvings that are remarkably like Gobekli Tepe in Turkey, and at Sulawesi in Indonesia, and at many other places around the world. And it's known that the area here goes back to 8,000 years ago. 6,000 BC was the first settlement at Sillustani, with various cultures coming through here, including the Tiwanakans, the Pakura, and many other different cultures. So it's a very interesting site. Very interesting that you still see some of the stones here, not in situ. They've been moved outside the museum and kind of left to rot, but hopefully one day they'll be in the museum and revered as they should be.